been having headaches since 1976. The neurologists that I have seen told me they were clusters.
Okay. So how did the headache start? What started that? Do you remember the accidents you had?
Yeah, I fell off the back of a car.
Okay.
And landed on my head.
That was why were you on the back of a car? I'm just kidding. We don't need to go into that one. And then how about the other story about the one that happened about 30 years ago?
Crushed my head under a car twice. The jack fell out from under it.
Gotcha. And when you went to the hospital, what did they say?
They said I was fine and sent me home.
Okay. So I just wanted to kind of throw some of these in there. When you and it was about that time that the headaches started getting really bad, right?
Really bad, yeah.
How often for these last 30 years? How often have you've been getting the headaches?
At least 12 to maybe 15 in a 24-hour period.
Okay, so 12 to 15 headaches a day. How long are they lasting?
About an hour.
Okay, that's a lot.
2 hours off and another hour on.
Gotcha. And if you could describe the pain, what was the pain of those?
10, it would be a 30.
Okay. And where would you feel the pain?
Just on one side of my head.
Okay. And you kind of described it as, to me one time as...
It was in the temple and down through the jaw, down my neck and into my upper neck.
And it was kind of sharp stabbing pains, like you felt like a knife was getting...
Sharp needles.
Gotcha. So we got you X-rayed, we got you adjusted. How was your experience after your first adjustment?
It was fine for the first 3 days. I felt like a new person. I could actually sleep at night.
Good.
Get some rest. And I was able to function long enough to actually cook something to eat without turning it off halfway through and
having to go take some oxygen.
Go take oxygen for another headache.
Gotcha. So we checked you the last time. We had about a week of really good success. I mean, the first. I'm just going to kind of recount a little bit the history. After your first adjustment, it was on Friday. That weekend, you had, from what I remember, you had four headaches, where you should have had about 36 or so. You had 4.
Right.
And then it got really good for even another few days, where you were just getting a mild one every other day, right? And then your body kind of started saying, "Wait a second, we're doing too good, I think." So you've been getting some bad headaches every once in a while, and what we just talked about, you had a mild, just light headache on Monday, one on Tuesday, and then a bad one Wednesday night. Right. So in a period where you should have had, in these past few weeks, when you should have had probably hundreds, we've had enough we can count on one hand.
Right.
So that's really good. That's really good success. So far, we're obviously in the very beginning stages. And the last thing I want to know is how has this affected your life?
In the last 4 years, it's been just pure hell. Since I've been coming to the clinic in the past, few weeks, it's been fantastic. I've been able to get rest at night, get up feeling good. My appetite's back, and I can actually walk around the block.
That's great.
So
you can actually leave your apartment.
Yeah.
It's funny that the things we take for granted, Great. And how is your outlook on life, would you say?
Quite a bit better. I don't feel like a caged animal or on house arrest anymore. I'm able to get out and do something.
Got it. Thank you. Just on a personal note, I think after your first adjustment, when you came back, the one thing I can say is actually your first 2 visits that were about an hour apiece. Those first 2 visits, you had a really bad headache each time. Remember, we kind of had to close the door and let you breathe some oxygen for a while because it was so bad. And you were quite pale in the face. You kind of, if this doesn't sound too bad, a little bit lifeless, and just didn't feel like, you were just kind of in your own little world. And the first time you came back after your first adjustment, what the big thing I noticed was you had blood flow to your face, you had color in your face again, you smiled. That's pretty important. So I was able to see the change just in a short period when your body starts to get some life flow back into your body from your brain. So
since I've been adjusted, I've had much more energy than I've had in quite some time.
Great.
I'm starting to feel my age, and I don't want to grow up.
No, never grow up. All right, Blane.